P.P. Arnold is a soul singer who began her career as an Ikette with the Ike and Tina Turner Revue in 1965. Arnold enjoyed considerable success in the UK with her singles The First Cut is the Deepest and Angel of the Morning. Earlier this year, she released her autobiography Soul Survivor, and now P.P. Arnold is returning with the sensational festive tune It Won't Be Christmas Without You, an instant classic for the holiday season. And P.P. Arnold is, of course, on the line with us. How are you today?
I'm doing real good.
Yeah.
I haven't got into the Christmas spirit like you have. You got all the tree and your jumper and everything.
Yeah.
I have to get on my gig and get it happening over here.
Yeah, for sure. Now, this Christmas single that you've got, It Won't Be Christmas Without You, without sounding too smarmy here, I think it's one of the best Christmas songs I've ever heard.
Oh, I am so glad you said that because I feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I've never recorded a Christmas song before,
Mm.
and this one, the universe gave it to me. I really needed something to help me kind of bridge like the book and moving into 2023. And
Yeah.
it's been a while since my last album, The New Adventures of P.P. Arnold, that was released in 2019. That was produced
Mm.
by Steve Craddock, and we toured it, and we were in Scotland as well,
Wow.
touring that album. And of course, 2020 was supposed to be the year for everybody.
Yeah.
So COVID kind of sabotaged the success of that recording. And so this is the first recording, even though I'm getting ready to go in the studio and record some new material. This is the first thing that I've recorded that's actually been released
Mm.
since 2019.
Yeah.
And so it was supposed to, the song was supposed to be, it was Cher was gonna do it,
Wow.
but Cher couldn't do it, and so I got it.
Yeah.
I got it, and I had never recorded a Christmas song again
Mm.
before, and the guys who Patrick and Mark
Yeah.
and at Metrophonic, the Metrophonic Productions, Brian Rawlings, those guys. My solicitor knows Brian, and so it is sometimes is who you know,
Yeah.
and so luckily the song came to me, and I loved it immediately because it was like. It reminded me of being a teenager,
Yeah.
in the 60s. And it's got the whole wall of sound and the
Mm.
good kind of Ronette sound. And, I was an Ikette, so I
Yeah.
was in a girl group. And so it just took me back. And it was just like, even though it has, I guess most Christmas songs have a kind of melancholy kind of theme about it,
Mm.
but it still has that joy, and it's got all
Yeah.
the bells. It's just got everything a Christmas song should have.
Yeah.
And then they've got me on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so it was great. At first I thought, wow. Being from the 60s, I wanted the vocal to sound young,
Yeah.
because, but, as you get older, sometimes well, not sometimes, a lot of
Mm.
the times, I have to change keys and bring things down a little bit because my voice
Yeah.
it's still quite very powerful, but it's very rich.
Mm.
So I wanted to get a sound that sounded young. I wanted
Yeah.
to sound young. And
Yeah.
I think I do.
And I was thinking that about, the 60s thing because it's got elements of the 60s that kind of remind you of the Phil Spector Christmas album, and yet it still sounds fresh and like it could be a hit in today's world.
Well, I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
See, the song has got the best of both worlds. It's
Mm.
got that whole Phil Spector sound, wall of sound, and it's
Yeah.
got me that was there then, and I'm still here now going
Yeah.
strong. So like so like I still have, even though I'm a 60s artist, I like to
Mm.
think I like to keep my vocals fresh,
Yeah.
and the way I project it. And it's just a cute song,
Mm.
So move over, Mariah.
Yeah. Well, she's officially not the Queen of Christmas, according to the official copyright laws, apparently.
Oh well, that's good to know. At least so that's more of a chance for me to
Yeah.
be heard this year.
Yeah. And you mentioned that
So-
you've never recorded a Christmas song before. Have you ever wanted to, or is this just the first time that something's happened like this?
Well, this is the first time that I've got the opportunity to
Hmm.
do a Christmas song. I'd like to do a Christmas album. I'd like to do a Christmas album singing
Yeah.
Christmas songs, like we used to sing them. I grew up in the church singing with my family, with
Yeah.
my brothers and sisters, and I was born into a gospel family. So that's my heritage. And we sang arrangements of like Silent Night and
Hmm.
all of those beautiful classic songs in a very, very soulful way. And I would really love to do that, to be able to do that. And if I live long enough, hopefully I'll get the chance to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
And what are your hopes for this song? I mean, are you hoping it's going to be, because I think it has the chance to be quite intergenerational, isn't it? People who are into 60s music and people that are just into today's music, because as I say, it strands both and it's catchy no matter who's listening to it.
Well, I really hope it does just that.
Mm.
I really hope that I do just that, period, at this time in my career. And I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people, they think that because of my age,
Mm.
that I don't have a younger audience,
Yeah.
I have loyal fans. I have a really loyal, beautiful, loving retro fan base. But I believe that there's a lot of kids out there who are into retro music that don't know about me.
Mm.
And I am still here,
Yeah.
and I have a distinctive, different sound by I was always produced and recorded in the UK.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my sound is like slightly different. So yeah, so like I'm thinking I would love to be able to hit. I've got a girl, somebody on this with me, because everybody says, "Oh no, you can't get more engagement on Instagram or TikTok." This is a
Mm.
young girl. Listen, music has no age. I'm sorry, and I
Yeah.
think that I've aged pretty well too. I'm still looking good. I may not look. I may not look like 18. I just
Yeah.
did a video for a little video clip for this song
Oh.
where I was wearing all the kind of 60 wigs and everything. But I know that I can't look exactly like I looked back then. But it was like fun to do that for the video.
Yeah.
But I love the have you seen the image for the CD cover? Have you seen that
Is that like
yet?
if it's for this Christmas single, I don't think I've seen it. No.
Well, if you go on my media, if you go on my Instagram and my Facebook and everything, you can see it. So
Wow.
I've used a really beautiful 60s image of myself. And
Wow.
this guy, his name is the Seasick Sailor, and he does,
Oh.
like he does paintings of like images, of retro images.
Yeah.
So he's done a great cover for me, and he had already sort of painted this image of me, and I got him to like do the whole Christmas thing. So I think it's really cute. I think it's
Yeah.
really good. I think the cover really matches the song, and
Yeah.
and the spirit of now and then. And so I'm still here,
Mm.
everybody. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And music doesn't get old. You know what I mean? It's like the kids would love to hear my music. I think so, because my
Yeah.
music is really youthful.
Yeah. And didn't Elton John get the Christmas #1 last year? So just goes to show.
Well, exactly. Well, Elton's gonna get it. Whenever he appears, he's gonna get something because he's
Yeah.
well known. But I want all those guys to just to kind of move over and give me some.
Yeah.
Give me some. Give me some space. Those guys are my peers. I remember Elton when he used to come to my house and played before when he was Reggie,
Yeah.
and all of that. But like, of course, those guys are big. Those are my peers, and my career has taken on a different direction for many reasons. Like just like you know, bad luck, tragedies, making wrong decisions,
Yeah.
and things. But I've never given up. I've always been able to survive through the different decades, because working with younger artists, and
Yeah.
people like really collaborating with a lot of people. And so, like, I've done so much work in my 50 odd years of being in the industry, and people think, oh, PP Arnold is the legend that is PP Arnold. And that's lovely. All those accolades and things are lovely. But, I'm still struggling.
Yeah.
Still an independent Black female artist out here stepping out on the faith every day. So I want people to know that, and I really hope they like this record and support this record, because with the record and my autobiography that was released in July,
Yeah.
and has received number 18 Best Books of 22 for Rough Trade,
Wow.
and also number 8 Uncut magazine has made it its number 8 best book of the year. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I can marry the book
Yeah.
with all those tales of the 60s and everything of PP Arnold. People want to really know about PP Arnold. It's all in that book,
Yeah.
and there's a lot to. So I'm promoting the book, and then with the single, hopefully I can end 2022 on a very high note.
Yeah. If you can hit it. And
Yeah, I can hit it.
and you're still very much here and hopefully making music for many more years. So what made you decide that now is the right time to release an autobiography?
Well, I wrote the book in the mid '90s, and I've
Mm.
been tried to get a publishing deal before now, but the right deal didn't come along. And sometimes a couple of companies had approached me, but it just wasn't right. So you
Yeah.
just say no. And then I was sitting in my house in Spain during lockdown, and I received an email from Pete Selby
Mm.
from 9/8 Books to say that he heard that I had written a book and could he read it. So 9/8 Books is a new subsidiary of Bonnier Books that
Mm.
deals with music biographies and music books. So he asked me if I would send him, could I send him something to read? So I sent him about 4 chapters, right?
Wow.
And then he came straight back to me. He goes like, can I read more? So I go like, okay. So I sent him another 10 chapters, right? And then he
Yeah.
came right back and he said, can I read the whole book? And he goes, if I read the book and I like it, I want to make you an offer. And
Yeah.
so he came back a week later loved the book and
Yeah.
made the right offer. He had the right enthusiasm. He understood my book, because my book is not just about the music industry. It's about my journey as a young Black woman from
Yeah.
Watts, and you know, going being. I've been through a lot of abuse and all kind of things, and also it's about the music. I've taken the history of the music back to the plantation,
Wow.
really, where it all comes from, gospel, because my roots are gospel music, and
Yeah.
so I told those stories because I had been doing a lot of ancestry work, and that ancestry is a part of my Afro American experience and my family's Afro American experience in America. So it's very the book is very kind of socio political as well, and it
Mm.
talks about those times, coming through those times, and then
Yeah.
my journey in the music business, ending up being an ICAT with the Ike
Mm.
and Tina Turner review without ever, ever, ever even thinking about being a professional singer or being in the industry,
Yeah.
and then that journey through those years with Ike and Tina that brought me to the UK
Yeah.
and connected me with the Rolling Stones, and there I was right in the middle of the whole. I came out of uh uh the the oh god, the the all the racism and all
Yeah.
of that whole thing in America into the whole rock and roll
Yeah.
revolution that was going on here. Yeah, the civil rights
Yeah.
revolution. I
That
come
one.
out of the civil rights revolution into the rock and roll revolution, which was really big changes on many levels, like in just being living in an integrated society,
Mm.
and having relationships with white men
Yeah.
that was like taboo back in those days, so like yeah, I sort of crossed a lot of lines in
Yeah.
my career, and bringing my children to the UK and my children growing up here, and it's a pretty unique life that I've
Yeah.
had, and I've worked with a lot of people. People always say, "Oh, wow, she knows this was your," they were my peers. We were all kids. We
Yeah.
grew up together in the '60s, so I don't just drop names. Those were my friends. That's we like we grew up. It's not a kiss and tell story.
Yeah.
Those were my lovers and my friends. I was an artist in my own right. I became an artist in my own right by
Mm.
living here in the UK. I wasn't before, I was just singing. I never even thought about having a career of my own.
Yeah. And yeah, yeah, you got the phone.
Yeah, I've got to decline this call.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no
did.
problem.
Okay.
Okay. And it's
Okay.
called Soul Survivor. I take it you've had to survive quite a lot there.
I have. I have. As a woman in the industry,
Mm.
as a Black woman in the industry, as a mother, as a woman, period.
Mm.
Surviving. All the different decades and time changes, and
Yeah.
but the music industry especially, I've really survived the majority of my time in the music industry. I've been an independent artist.
Yeah.
So, I haven't had the support system
Mm.
behind me to take me to the level of that could be possible. for the work that I've done, for for my contribution
Mm.
to the music industry. I've contributed a lot. And so, but hey, it's all about right now, what's happening now. It
Yeah.
won't be Christmas without you is happening. Soul
Yes.
Survivor is happening. The New Adventures of P.P. Arnold, the album that Steve Craddock
Mm.
produced, is happening.
Yeah.
Uh, the Turning Tide album is
Ooh.
still happening.
Yeah.
I have a box set that's being released. Next year as well. That's going to
Mm.
have a lot of music that was never released and lots of demos and things. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And I'm
Yeah.
also looking forward to recording with Patrick and Mark, the Metrophonic team. We're going to be start recording an album that hopefully will be released at the same time that the paperback version of Soul Survivor
Yeah.
is going to be released next year. So, I'm busy. I've got loads of possibilities and opportunities, so I'm just trying to stay strong and stay positive
Yeah.
and and keep it moving.
Yeah. And what else is coming up for you? Do you have plans on top of that?
Well, that's a lot right there. I just gave you.
Certainly is.
I mean, that's gonna take me. I've got plans up until like, yeah, the big plan is like, I really need to find the right agent that's gonna
Mm.
like book me gigs so that I can sing.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to. I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting, but it's the end of the year. I'd really like to be able to say to everybody that I've got gigs booked for next year, that I'm going to be like performing in more festivals and things next year, but
Yeah.
I don't know that yet. But I'm praying and I'm hoping that that happens on top of the music being released, the box set being released, the this record, Soul Survivor hardback, and the paperback that's being released.
Mm.
I'm working. I'm
Yeah.
bringing it. So I'm just hoping that I get a chance to. Right now, it's like my profile is sky high, and
Yeah.
and I've got like nearly 55 years of credibility behind me. So
Yeah.
yeah, it would be nice to like really have a really good, you know, I'm ready for some higher ground.
Yes.
Higher ground so that I can be able to do my thing without being stressed out totally all the time and things like
Yeah.
that. It's a difficult business. It's a
Yeah.
hard business, and it is just that. It's the music business.
Mm.
You have to. It's not just about you. You're part of you're as strong as your team is.
Yeah.
So it's about having a strong team. At the moment, my team is looking really good.
Yeah.
I got All About Promo, Amanda and
Yeah.
Tom. Those guys,
Yes.
they worked with me on the New Adventures
Mm.
album and tour, and so it's like family with them. And
Yeah.
Simon Long, my solicitor, he's just been
Mm.
great. He's just like brought it for me, helped me, keep it going through many, many, many years. I've known Simon for a long time. The Metrophonic team, they're strong. I
Yeah.
have a woman, Heather Taylor, who's working with me. So hopefully it's going to be the team that will be able to lift me.
Yeah.
and help me project like I need to
Yeah.
in order to survive in the industry.
Yeah. And what are you up to for Christmas? Anything fun?
Well, I haven't really thought about it yet, other than
Mm.
because I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm just working right now, just like promoting this record and everything. My family is here. My son, one of my sons, is here, and
Yeah.
my grandson and my son's family. So, I'm sure it'll be the Christmas dinner, but I don't have any other plans. I haven't
Mm.
really focused on the festive part yet because I'm just trying to work hard and hopefully be able to open up some doors for 2023.
Yeah. Well, the new
Yeah.
single is called It Won't Be Christmas Without You, and the paperback of the autobiography Soul Survivor will be out in early 2023. Have I got all that right?
Well, I think so. I'm being told that it's going to be out. The paperback will be out around Mother's Day. When is
Mm.
Mother's Day in
Um,
2023?
yeah, well, I guess it's different for UK and US, but it'll be a few
No,
weeks before Easter, sometime in March.
yeah, something like that. So I got a lot of work to do, like in the studio, trying to like get this album done and finished so that it can be released at the same time as the paperback. But the
Mm.
hardback is out now.
Ah.
You can buy the hardback Amazon and most bookstores. Like I said, it's number 1820 for 2022 rough
Mm.
trade charts and uncut magazine, so it's available. You can buy the hardback now,
Excellent.
and there's also an audio. I've done an
Oh,
audio book as well.
did you record that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Wow.
did, and that's on Amazon.
Yeah. Do you do any
Yes,
singing in the audiobook, or is it just
I
reading
do.
it?
I do. I
Wow.
did. I did. It's. I made sure that I did. I did. I
Yeah.
didn't do as much as I wanted to do, but as I like talk about the different music through the years and the times of things that I did, I sing little bits and
Mm.
pieces from things. Some of the gospel stuff, I break out to song from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to have done a lot more, but
Mm.
it was like I didn't really have a lot of time to do the audio book. So it was done kind of quickly. But yeah, I stuck some singing off in there for
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great to have you on, and have a smashing Christmas.
Yeah, you too, Toby. I see you are in the spirit. I'm gonna get in the spirit like you now.
Yeah.
It's like it won't be Christmas, baby. Ooh,
Ooh,
Christmas.
Christmas.
All right. Merry Christmas, everybody.